This is Luke chapter 8, verses 26 to 39. Then they sailed to the country of the Gerasenes, which is opposite Galilee. When Jesus had stepped out on land, there met him a man from the city who had demons. For a long time he had worn no clothes, and he'd not lived in a house but among the tombs. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell down before him and said with a loud voice, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For many a time it had seized him. He was kept under guard and bound with chains and shackles, that he would break the bonds and be driven by the demon into the desert. Jesus then asked him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Legion," for many demons had entered him. And they begged him not to command them to depart into the abyss. Now a large herd of pigs was feeding there on the hillside, and they begged him to let them enter these. So he gave them permission. Then the demons came out of the man and entered the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and drowned. When the herdsmen saw what had happened, they fled and told it in the city and in the country. Then people went out to see what had happened, and they came to Jesus and found the man from whom the demons had gone sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. And those who'd seen it told them how the demon-possessed man had been healed. Then all the people of the surrounding country of the Gerasenes asked him to depart from them, for they were seized with great fear. So he got into the boat and returned. The man from whom the demons had gone begged that he might be with him, but Jesus sent him away, saying, "Return to your home and declare how much God has done for you." And he went away, proclaiming throughout the whole city how much Jesus had done for him. On the boat ride across the Sea of Galilee, the Lord Jesus showed the disciples his power over the devil working through nature. With just a word, the Lord Jesus stilled the storm raging around them. They landed on the eastern shores of the sea, in the country of the Gerasenes. And here they saw the power of the devil in a different way. They saw the devil's power in the life of a local man. The Lord Jesus and the disciples were met by a naked and wild man who could not be controlled. The people of the local town had tried. They tried chaining him up and guarding him, but it didn't work. He'd break free and go off into the desert where he lived among the graves. The man reacted when he saw Jesus. Jesus had his disciples with him, but the man didn't take any notice of them. It was Jesus that he noticed. This man was possessed by very many evil spirits, demons, and the demons recognized who Jesus is. They understood that he's the Son of the Most High God, a title that recognized the deity of the Lord Jesus Christ. Only just before that, seeing his power over nature, the disciples had asked about Jesus. Who then is this? Well, the demons knew. The man possessed by the demons fell down before Jesus. In doing so, he recognized the authority of Jesus as God. The demons pleaded not to be sent into the abyss, which is their eternal destiny. They knew they had to leave the man because the Lord Jesus was telling them to, and they asked to be allowed to enter a herd of pigs. Mark, in his biography of Jesus, tells us that there were about 2,000 pigs. Jesus allowed this. The pigs ran down the hillside into the lake and drowned. The demons had immediately lost their new home. It is interesting to note that under the law that God had given to the people of Israel, they were not to eat pig meat. Pig meat was forbidden. Keeping pigs was not disobeying God, but it's difficult to understand why there should be such a large herd if they're not to provide food, so breaking God's law. Those keeping the pigs saw it all and ran into the town and told everyone about what had happened. This was a sensational story. So people came to take a look. They saw the man who previously so worried them, the man they tried so hard to control. There he was, no longer naked and wild, but clothed and in his right mind. Completely different. He'd been transformed, and that transforming power made them afraid. How did this happen, they wondered. And those who'd seen the event explained it to them, and they were seized with great fear. They could see that a great power was with them, but rather than putting their trust in the Lord Jesus Christ, they asked him to go away. He was disturbing their way of life. And Jesus didn't force himself on them. They preferred him to leave, so he did. The man who'd been freed from the devil's power now wanted to stay with Jesus. How wonderful that would be. But that wasn't what Jesus wanted for him. He had a work to do, and that was to go home and tell what God had done for him. And so he did, not just to his home, but through the whole town. He told them all of the amazing freedom that Jesus had brought to him. Even today, Jesus provides freedom from the devil's power. His power over people is shown in many ways, most of them far less obvious than the power he had over the man in this account. We can be caught with habits and practices. The devil uses our weaknesses to draw us away from God, but Jesus still provides freedom. Here's something for us to think about. If we found freedom through Jesus, do we tell those at home about him?